Hi, I'm Imogen. If you're new, then welcome to my channel. I make plant-related content every Friday, and if you've seen my videos before, then welcome back. Today I have a houseplant haul for you. As we've been going into spring, I have been buying more outdoor plants to go into my garden. So I've been buying less houseplants than usual, and I guess this is more of a collective haul because it includes plants that I've bought since the start of March, so over about a 3-month period. The first plant I have to show you is this Peperomia Piccolo Bando. I bought this at the start of March. It was from the supermarket Lidl and was £1.99 for the plant and the pot, which I think is really cheap. I do have quite a lot of Peperomia in my houseplant collection. I really like them because they are easy to care for and I find they grow quite quickly, and they often have some really interesting foliage. For example, this Piccolo Bando has metallic silvery green coloured leaves and almost reddish veining, which I really like. It also reminds me a little bit of the Peperomia peppermill, which was one of my wishlist plants, but the Piccolo Bando is a lot easier to come by. I remember that Lidl had quite a few different types of houseplants in, lots this size, and this Piccolo Bando is just one that caught my eye, and for £1.99 I thought I may as well buy it. I think I took a picture when I first got it, so I'll show you that and a recent photo to compare and see if it's grown at all. I think it has, but it's still quite small. Even if not, I'm really happy with this little plant. It's not died on me yet. The next plant is one that definitely has grown, and that is this Syngonium. I think it's a Syngonium Pixie. I think it's quite common, just a sort of green Syngonium. I bought this from Ferndale Garden Centre, again at the start of March. I've wrote down that it was £2.99. It was originally in the same size pot as the Peperomia Piccolo Bando's in, so I think a 5cm one, but it really soon outgrew that and it's now in a 7cm pot. And I've just noticed that it already has a root coming out of the bottom, so it might need another repot at some point. I think it's fine in here for now, but it is really thriving. It lives on the top shelf of my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, right next to a grow light, and is pushing out lots of new growth. I used to not really be too fussed about Syngonium, but I am coming around to them, especially because they do grow really well for me. The next plants I'm just going to show you together. So that is 2 little succulents. I had a few propagations which I potted up and posted on my local plant swap group, and someone wanted one of my aluminium plants and offered up a couple of little succulents in return. I probably should have done some research before filming this video because I'm not really sure what they are. I think the larger one is an Echeveria and the smaller one to me looks like a sedum, but I'm not really sure. They were just bare cuttings, but I popped them into this little 5cm pot with some cacti and succulent soil, and they seem fine. Giving them a little gentle tug, it's a bit more difficult to get them out, so I'm going to guess that that means they have rooted, and I guess they're quite happy on my sunny windowsill. If you do recognise these as a specific type of succulent, I'd really love to know, but otherwise I'm really happy with my 3 little plants. Next, I have 2 plants from a local plant shop. The first one I'm almost embarrassed to show you because I've had it for about a month and a half and I think it's already dead. So I'll quickly talk about that, but that was a Begonia Listada. It was really healthy when I got it. I think I ignored it a bit while I was quarantining it, and I always quarantine my plants away from others, and I guess I just ignored it too much and it's kind of shriveled up. I'm not sure if it even can be saved. I think it probably would have enjoyed the environment in my greenhouse cabinet where it's more humid, but I don't like putting new plants straight into there in case there's pests. With hindsight, I do really trust this houseplant shop, so I probably didn't need to quarantine it for too long. But either way, we live and we learn. Oh, and the houseplant shop had a 20% off sale, so this was £5.50. But with the offer on, I got it for £4.95. So not too expensive a mistake, but I would have liked it to survive. The other plant I bought at the same time has survived, and that is this Alocasia dragon scale. This was actually the reason why I placed an order. I do have a little tiny Alocasia dragon scale, which is actually doing really well. It's got 3 leaves and 1 new leaf coming. But I saw this on the Feels Like Home website and couldn't resist. So full price, this was £20, but with the 20% off, it was £18. I think it did have 2 leaves when I first got it. 1 dropped off, and this is the other original leaf. It's going a little bit yellow. I think I left it in the sun a bit long, but the new leaf is perfect. I really love the look of the Alocasia dragon scale and the silver dragon. The leaves are just kind of puffy with a really sharp contrast between the veining and the main colour of the leaf, and I just generally think they're a really lovely plant. After quarantining this alongside the dead begonia, I put it into my greenhouse cabinet next to the other dragon scale, and that was when it put out this leaf, so I'd say it's doing well in there. It's in quite a chunky mix, so the water drains through and doesn't sit on the roots. And I was really pleased to get this, not only for a good price, but also from a local plant shop. And yeah, that is the Alocasia dragon scale. So next, I'm never sure whether or not to include cuttings or not in these videos, but this was another plant swap item, and it is some Philodendron Micans cuttings. I think in the same Facebook post that I did, which had the aluminium plant propagations in, I mentioned that I'd really like some Philodendron Micans cuttings, and someone very kindly offered to give me some cuttings and didn't want a trade in return. I have them in a old pesto jar, I think, of water, just sat on a windowsill, but when they're ready I've got 5 lovely cuttings to make a nice bushy plant. I really love the velvety texture of these leaves, and they have a sort of green and red colouring to them. In the close-ups you might be able to see some yellow flecks on them. That is actually paint, because I recently painted my kitchen yellow and I didn't move these out of the way, so there are some flecks on there, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's my fault completely, and I'm really excited for when these grow enough for me to pot up and I eventually get a beautiful trailing plant. If you saw my recent Cowell's Garden Centre tour, then you'll have already seen these next 2 plants, but I didn't really talk about them in detail. So first of all, I have this Calathea Rose Optica Illustrious. This was in the kind of bargain shelves area of Cowell's. It's got 1 decent leaf and 1 kind of crispy one. Full price it would have been £3.99, but because of the kind of state that it was in, it was half price, so £1.98, and it just looked kind of sad, and I wanted to save it because I really liked the dark green, almost black leaf with bright pink on. It's not deteriorated since I got it, which is the most that I was really hoping for. I think I can see a shoot coming, but I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully it'll grow some more leaves and that shoot will turn into something, but otherwise I've got my kind of 1.5 little leaf plant. Second plant I got from Cowell's is this lovely Hoya Gracilis. Cowell's had loads of beautiful Hoya, but this one caught my eye. It has beautiful long leaves with kind of silver speckling on. It has lots of vines and some new growth coming. It was £9.99, which I didn't think was too bad at all. There is a tiny bit of sun stressing on one of the leaves here. It's a bit darker and more red than the others. So I'm going to keep this kind of close to a grow light to see if I can sun stress it any more. But even if not, I think the green sort of speckled leaves are still really lovely, and I'm excited for this to trail down. The final plant I have to show you is another Hoya, which is definitely already trailing, and that is this Hoya Linearis. I got this from another local plant shop called Gravel Pit, which is one of my favourites. I'm really getting into my Hoya, and I just think the Linearis is a really interesting, pretty plant. It does remind me a bit of some of my Ripsalis, but the leaves and vines are more delicate and they're really soft, so it looks quite different. It is in a hanging pot. I am planning on putting a shelf up in this room, so I think I'm actually just going to put it on the shelf rather than hanging it up, but who knows, if it gets really long I might need to put it up higher and hang it up somewhere. This was £20, but I did have a £10 gift card which my mum got me for my birthday, so it was only £10 and I'm really excited to have another Hoya. I'm also going to have a go at propagating this because I've heard it's quite easy to do, and I think that some little pots of this would be really cute, so I'll probably show the process of doing that in my next propagations video. But otherwise, yeah, this is my brand new Hoya Linearis. And that's all the plants I have to show you. I did say that this was going to be a short one. It's probably not as short as I thought, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to know what plants you've got recently, and if you're similar to me and focusing more on outdoor plants at the moment. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Friday for another planty video. Bye!